Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Vesby here, and welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new Strand rocket assisted sidearm, the Call, which is a brand new gun in this game that came with the Final Shape expansion. I'm going to be showing you guys a couple combos you could do for the God roll. Honestly, you can't go wrong with the amount of perks that are on this gun. I'm just going to be breaking it down for you guys. And to be quite honest, I think this might actually top the Indebted Kindness, the ARC sidearm. So let's just jump right into it, guys. For our 10 stat buff on the Masterwork, I went with the 10 reload speed. I find this gun has a very low reload speed stat, so I just wanted to bump that up. Other one you can honestly go with is the 10 velocity, which will increase, the projectile speed. Either or are great. I mean, you can't go wrong with one or the other. It's totally up to you. When it comes to our launcher barrel, I went with Smart Drift Control. It just seems like a balanced buff all around. I mean, you can't really go wrong in this category. There's a lot of choices here. I would say all of them are honestly great. But when it really comes down to it, I would say Smart Drift Control or even Linear Compensator. I would kind of avoid Volatile Launch. Confined Launch is also not too bad. It does decrease your projectile speed, so it's kind of counteracting your velocity. So yeah, I would definitely just stick with Smart Drift Control in my opinion. When it comes to our magazine, I used High Explosive Ordnance, which it'll increase the blast radius, increase projectile speed, but it will decrease your magazine size. Honestly, that's not a big deal to me because what I do to counteract that is I go to my gun and I put on the weapon mod increases magazine. So I mean, can't really go wrong with that. When it comes to our enhanced trait, I use Lead from Gold, which I think is by far the best one in this column. There's not really many great options here other than that. I think Strategist might be a decent one, where when you get multiple kills, final blows, etc., you will improve your class ability energy and regen time, so you'll get your class ability faster. I think this might be great for hunters. I'm using the Wormhouse Crown, so I mean, that'll give me regen every time I dodge. So Strategist might actually help with that. But I find I run out of ammo pretty fast, and using Lead from Gold has been a lifesaver for me, especially doing legendary missions, being in raid, etc. There's not always going to be ammo dropping off targets, and not always special ammo. Might it be a heavy brick that drops, and when that heavy brick drops, picking that up will give ammo for both guns, which is awesome. Only really con or big deal about this one is if your heavy gun is full on ammo, obviously you can't pick up that heavy brick off the floor, so you're gonna have to shoot an RPG round or whatever heavy weapon you're using. You're gonna have to shoot it a little bit and then pick it up off the floor. When it comes to the last enhanced trait, I'm with One for All, which is by far the best one in this column in my opinion, in which it entails that hitting 3 separate targets increases damage for an improved duration. I believe it's like a 10-second duration, but I mean, every time you get 3 kills, 3, 6, 9, whatever, it'll just keep resetting that timer. And honestly, it's really good for ad clear. It's really good for boss damage. There's always going to be ads surrounding the boss. You just shoot 3 targets and then focus boss. It's kind of similar to Frenzy, but you kind of have to activate it with the 3 kills. That's the only thing. If there was Frenzy in this column, I'd honestly go with that. But I mean, One for All is great. Only other one you could really go with here is maybe Desperate Measures. You'll actually get an improved percentage on damage. The only thing you have to do though is get more grenade kills and melee kills during that weapon final blow duration. So I mean, you kind of have to focus that a little bit more. And I don't really like stressing about that, so I went with One for All. It seems the most simplistic and easiest to do, and as it's enhanced as well, it's going to do a little more percent on that damage. Now when it comes to your Hunter's Journal artifact, you're going to want to put on the Unstoppable Sidearm, which obviously will make it an unstoppable weapon against champions. And Overcharged Armory. Overcharge your Dealer's Choice Origin perk, which is essentially the origin trait for this sidearm. And it's gonna grant you a buff on the super, retaining it quicker. I mean, it's just great all around. And even as well, Winning Hand. While using weapons with the Dealer's Choice Origin trait, combatant precision final blows or rapidly defeating combatants cause the target to explode, dealing solar damage to nearby combatants, which is kind of like Incandescent. And having several equipped weapons with the Dealer's Choice Origin trait increases the effect of the explosion. So if you have another weapon you want to kind of combine this with, there's much other great options too that you could combine and put on your loadout. However, I don't have them all craftable yet. This is actually my first craftable weapon so far from the Final Shape. The more you put on, the more output it's going to have essentially. And another one I would suggest is destroying a tangle with a strand weapon creates a larger and more damaging explosion. So since this weapon's a strand weapon, when you shoot a tangle, it'll just create a large explosion, so it kind of buffs your blast radius on the weapon in my opinion. And when you get more strand kills, usually tangles will drop on the floor, and then you can just shoot it again with your sidearm, and boom, huge explosion. add Clear City. And yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy Vesby, and I'm out. Peace.